Most diapers are made with up to 75% plastic, and that can lead to irritation and rashes. I don't want plastic touching my baby's skin. Not when there's diapers. D-Y-P-E-R, spelled different because it is different. It's plastic-free where it matters most. Dermatologist approved, free of over 1,000 harmful chemicals, and compostable with Diapers composting program. Visit diaper.com and use promo code WELCOMEBABY to save 15%. That's DYPER.com, promo code WELCOMEBABY.
Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
What's up, Think Tankers? Welcome to another Short Shifts episode, which are always sponsored by our boy at Skate Tech. In case you didn't know, Skate Tech Skate Sharpening Equipment Repair brings you NHL quality service at an affordable retail price. With over 23 years of sharpening and equipment customizing experience, Skate Tech serves as your personal equipment manager, providing the highest quality skate sharpening, blade profiling, team uniforms, and equipment alterations available on the market today. Let Skate Tech help you take your on-ice performance to the next level with the edge the pros trust. Check them out at skatetechsharpening.com.
Let's go. All right. I am so excited for this one.
Ooh.
I am so excited for this one because it is one of my favorite things to talk about in hockey. One of my favorite things to talk about in hockey. And should you choose, I didn't do my whole thing. Should you choose to hop on this magic carpet ride with me, we're going to have some fun. You do? Yes. Okay, great. So I want to talk passing, buddy. I want to talk passing. And the reason why I want to talk passing is because I saw an awesome social media post yesterday on Twitter. And it was Adam Nightingale, who's the head coach at Michigan State. And he was giving a presentation. It was through USA Hockey, I think, about passing. And so some of the data and statistics that he talked about really was an eye-opener. And obviously, if you listen to our podcast, you know how much I talk about passing and puck support and how it relates to hockey IQ, and we need more of it. It's too much individualized right now. Hockey's a team game. We got to get a little bit more back to that, create better players, smarter players. And so he talked about in this presentation how in a single NHL game, there are 900 pass attempts. In a single NHL game, there are 900 pass attempts. In an AHL game, there's 850 pass attempts. And in a USHL game, that's 810 pass attempts. So obviously, the better the level, the more passing there is. That should say something in and of itself. Secondly, in an NHL game with 900 pass attempts, that's 900 times a player has to make a decision with the puck. 900 decision-making opportunities, and that's 900 times that other players on the team have to make a decision on where to support the puck. Ooh. Now, okay, we talk about all these other skills. Is passing important now? How important is passing to the game of hockey and our development of the actual skill technically of passing and receiving a puck, and also game awareness, understanding of the game, and decision-making. It's absolutely insane. So I have another stat that I want to give you a little bit after this, but just after listening to those stats and understanding how much I have a passion for this, give me your thoughts on what you just heard.
I immediately think, and it's something I've been telling all the guys here, is I immediately think, yeah, you got to, yes, practice passing, also practice getting open. Passing important, getting open just as important. If you're not open, you can't get a pass, and then you can't give a pass. 900? 900? That is such a large number. My God, that is amazing. I can't believe, that is wild. 900. Yeah. Maybe we should spend a little more time, guys, on passing, catching passes, and getting open than dipsy doodling under the stick, jumping over it, running through a tire, sliding, down the ice on our stomach, and doing all the crazy shit we're seeing into some of these skills things.
Yeah. And I think honestly, man, like I think about USA Hockey here too, because however many years ago it was, 10, 15 years ago, the ADM came out and small area games. And everybody talked about the importance of small area games. And you're seeing more and more of that in practices and practices and practices, right? Like kids playing small area games. Well, what does small area games emphasize? It emphasizes passing and puck support. It emphasizes making reads and making decisions under pressure. And that's hockey sense. And to be an elite hockey player, you have to be able to do those things. And so I think, like again, you're looking at the success that USA Hockey is having at the international stage. I think it's a big part of that. Our practices changed 10 to 15 years ago, and they went away from the mindless whatever. And that's not to say every coach did that stuff, but the practices that we had when we were growing up were a lot different than the practices that you're seeing, that started 10 to 15 years ago. Now we're seeing a shift. Now we're seeing a shift to a little bit less of the small area game type stuff and a little bit more of the individual technical skill stuff. And we're seeing a lot more people seek out skills coaches where they're doing a lot more of the technical stuff. And that's, again, caveat, like that's not to say that that's not bad, right? Like you should have the technical skills to be able to do these kinds of things, but to be a good hockey player, you have to understand and think the game. And so like my worry is that so much of the success that we're having at USA in kind of how we changed our practice structure 10, 15 years ago, that might go away based on what we're seeing a little bit more of here today on the more individual side of things. Thoughts on that?
Well, one thing that I really like that the USHL is doing, and obviously a lot of the USHL teams are doing like split practices where they'll do forward focused and D focused, which I love. And in the ones that I've watched, there's a ton of individual, but like there's like individual skill work, and then there's like team, like your individual skill work within the confines and the framework of the team and working together. And one thing that I liked with the teams that I've worked with, especially Tri-City, is they kind of did a great job blending both of those.
Yeah.
Like what I see in the summer is like so much like one person. It's only one we've talked about. One person doing a drill. There's no passing. It's a lot of dipsy doodling. And yeah, you've got to be able to do that stuff. And it's great. And the game is so skilled, but they're not passing in any of them. Is that we got to bring more passing into all of these drills. So yeah, when you're doing your skill work, yeah, you want to be working on your individual hands and all of that. But my God, you have to be bringing in the things that we do in our game often to be good at our game. And Topher Scott just told you 900 decisions per game right there. Like, so we've got to be building that as a heavy emphasis into our practices.
Yeah, 100%. And then the other stat that I want to give, because I know we don't have too much time left, is the actual success rate of the passing at each of those levels. So there was the 900 at the NHL attempts for passing, 850 in the AHL, and in the USHL was 810. Now, when you get to the success rate of the passes, so in the USHL, it's 70%. In the AHL, it's 73%. And in the NHL, it's 75%. So the really interesting part about that is even though as you go up, it gets more structured. Players are way better defensively. Defensemen are way better. Gaps are way better. And it should be harder to pass. Hockey sense. The success rate is still better, even though defending is way better, the levels that you go up. And so that's where, like, again, hockey sense trumps everything, man. Hockey sense trumps everything. What can we be doing in our practices to help elevate hockey sense and the ability to understand, read the game, make plays under pressure, understand body cues, understand how to support the puck. Like, these are things that we gotta continue to lead the forefront of how we develop and design our drills and our practices and everything like that. So just really, really interesting stats, man. 900 pass attempts a game in the NHL with a 75% success rate. And the success rate goes up for every level that you go up with the three that they studied. And what it's hockey sense. It all comes down to hockey sense. So I wanted to talk about that here today. Really, really cool stuff.
No, it's so cool. And it's funny that you're talking about passes and pass attempts, because the last 2 days I stopped multiple groups, like the junior group, the midget group, just telling them, like, hey, I remember getting out of college and like I would be standing next to a guy in the AHL or within like a foot and being like, oh yeah, I got my guy. Not in pro hockey, you don't. You got to have a stick because they can be 6 inches. They can be touching you, and they are still open to get that pass until you have their stick. So it's like lots of little in-tight passes and things like that. And you have to have a higher level of hockey sense to be able to know, do I actually have this guy? Do I not? Also, offensively, this guy's right next to me. How can I turn my body to make sure my stick is still open and I can still make a play after I get this with this guy in my back pocket? So not only are you passing more, they're way more contested and guys are all draped all over you, but you're still making those little passes. So that comes with hockey sense and knowing that and practicing those things. So it's like Toph said, like, we got to keep hammering these. I think we got to get back to these, like Toph has been saying a lot the last few years.
Yeah, man. It's hockey at the end of the day. It is a team game. Hockey is a team game. And I shared a post on social media a couple of weeks ago about Bobby Knight running a drill in basketball, right? And it was a drill where there was no dribbling. You're not allowed to dribble. It's 5-on-5, no dribbling, and you just have to pass and get open, passing it open, passing it open. It was like really cool and kind of translate to hockey. And how I would equate it is a rule that I love to put in drills. You can only hang on to the puck for 2 seconds. And when you can only hang on to the puck for 2 seconds, it forces the other players on your team to have to move to get open, because if you hold on it for 2 seconds, I'm going to blow the whistle and it's a turnover. It's transition to the other team. And so again, it goes back to that reading the play, being able to make decisions quickly. Hockey is a team game, man. So hopefully this is something that'll resonate. We're going to continue to scream from the rooftops about it, and hope you guys have a great week here. Time's up.
Most diapers are made with up to 75% plastic, and that can lead to irritation and rashes. I don't want plastic touching my baby's skin. Not when there's diapers. D-Y-P-E-R, spelled different because it is different. It's plastic-free where it matters most. Dermatologist approved, free of over 1,000 harmful chemicals, and compostable with Diapers composting program. Visit diaper.com and use promo code WELCOMEBABY to save 15%. That's DYPER.com, promo code WELCOMEBABY.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.